In this video, we're going to demonstrate how to replace the Human Touch Super Novo rear plastic shroud. The first thing we're going to do is use the remote control to recline the chair, and this will move the chair forward, which will give us better room to work on the shroud. So once the chair is all the way forward, we will power off the chair and unplug it. Next, we'll use a Phillips head screwdriver to remove the 4 screws that secure the shroud to the chair. Next, we're going to slide the shroud backward and tip it upside down. And then to disconnect it from the chair, we just need to cut 2 zip ties and disconnect the connector. To install the new shroud then, we'll place it upside down behind the chair like so. We'll take the left-hand cable and we'll take the part of the cable where the winding becomes tighter here, and we'll zip tie that to the post at that location. Can use a wire cutter to cut the excess zip tie. Okay, and it's important that we take those battery terminals. The chair you're working on may also have batteries connected. This is for the battery backup system. Either way, we need to tuck those up into that cubby hole there, because there's a on the other side of the shroud there's a battery compartment cover, and we need to be able to access those batteries or those battery terminals. So as we're putting the shroud into position, we need to be making sure that those are accessible there. Okay, moving over to the other post, we'll take the right-hand cable there and zip tie it again where the cable winding gets tighter there. We'll zip tie the cable at that location to the other post. We can cut that excess zip tie as well. And then we can connect that connector. Okay, now we're ready to flip the shroud over and slide it into position. inside the plastic chair frame there. And again, We need to make sure that we haven't lost sight of our battery cables. You see, we can see that our connectors are there, so we're in good shape. And we'll know that we have that we're in position when these screw holes are aligned. Okay, and before we start replacing screws, however, we want to check underneath the back and make sure that we don't have any cables between the frame and the shroud, because the shroud needs to be able to bounce up and down in order to activate the safety sensors. So push up and down, and yeah, you can see how it kind of springs up and down. If it does that, then we know we're in good shape. If it does not move up and down with a little spring like that, that means we have got cables stuck between the frame and the shroud, and we need to clear that before we proceed to replace the 4 screws. And we can plug in the chair and power it on. And we're done.